Is inventory going to start being a problem again? Rates just dropped. Is this a good time to refinance? Government shutdowns here. Are we going to get screwed over? This and more in your October update. Welcome to October. David, kicking it right off because we want to try to shorten these videos. Inventory. I'm seeing houses come on the market. I'm seeing a lot of houses come off the market. What's the real story here?
So we had a lot of people purchasing in September. So we had this flood of inventory, but now we're hitting the October, the slowdown of the year. So little by little, you're starting to see little homes coming off the market because it's that traditional time where you have holidays. So they want to wait till the new year.
I don't mean to interject. I want to back up here a little bit. You know, we've always heard April through August is the high selling season, right? Was this September a little abnormal for you in historical trends?
It is abnormal just because of the lower interest rates. But yeah, historically, it's April through the end of August that we see that's the peak of.
So it was a busier than normal September.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So, and I'm also seeing that our October pre-approvals, I mean, just our pipeline, our company's pipeline is up right now for pre-approvals, which is a little bit indifferent from what we've seen in the last 6-7 years, right?
Right.
So October is probably going to be just as busy.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to see a little bit less and less inventory out there in the price range that we were, you know, kind of the sweet spot for first-time home buying.
Yeah.
What's going on?
So that's what we're seeing is that we have this overflow from the September market. So yeah, the beginning of October, we're seeing more and more buyers. The problem is that little by little, sellers are starting to pull their houses off the market and kind of waiting until the beginning of the year to put it back on. So we are seeing a shrink of inventory, and we saw it's about 3.5%.
Okay. So this is where I always like to test or not test or push David, right? An average real estate agent, Matt, you see this all the time. You used to be a realtor. I'm not clowning on you realtors out there, but they talk out of two sides of their mouth. Right? Oh, it's a good time to sell. Oh, it's a good time to buy, right? It's like, okay, which one is it, right? And I know this is scenario specific. So if you're like going through the 4Ds, as we like to call them, divorce, distress, a lot of debt, or facing a death of a loved one that was a co-borrower, that makes sense. You know, you have a reason to sell. You're a have-to seller. Maybe you found the sweetest move-up deal that you can find, and you need to sell your house to remove the equity from it to place as a down payment. That makes sense, right? But David, I'm asking you right now, if a seller wanted to sell right now, would you tell them, hey, November, December, this is a good time to sell, if they weren't specific, like the ones I just mentioned? Or would you advise them to wait until, next, February, March, April?
I think it depends on their situation. If they're saying, hey, I want to see if I can move up, I tell them to wait, honestly. But if they are one of those 4Ds, and they have to, then this is the best time to do it because you're going to have serious buyers. But yeah, I think overall it's probably a good time to just wait till the beginning of the year.
And the reason I asked that, and you heard it here, folks, from David. David's a Masters Club winning, whatever award you can think of, he's won in real estate. I shared that with you not to boast about him, but provide credibility, that he's a credible person to talk about this with 20 years of experience. A seller's house with a pool and all the bells and whistles is just not going to look great in November rain, December time, right? We're thinking most people are thinking about Thanksgiving around the corner and Christmas and all of the festivities with the holiday breaks and schools in session and the new year upon us. They're not even thinking about that. So if you're a have-to seller because of one of those circumstances that I mentioned, great. So most sellers, they're going to probably come on the market if they want to maximize their dollar, April, May, June, July of next year, catch that right when school ends moment, right? After catch that tax refund time, right? So is that kind of the reason why we're seeing sellers pull houses off the market?
Yeah, that's the majority of the reason why they're doing it. And also because homes are taking a little bit longer to sell. You definitely don't want to have your photos out there with Halloween decorations, and then you come November and you're like, oh, this house has been sitting because look at the photos.
Yeah, that's the real scary. With that being said, David, I hate to put you on spot and have you forecast, but if you were to be a gambling man, predictions, right? What do you think we're going to see as we head into week 3, week 4 of November and December when it comes to inventory, like houses that are left for sale?
Inventory right now is about 3 months worth, of existing homes, meaning that if they were to sell every single house and not put a new house on the market, it would take 3 months to sell. So that puts us at the beginning of a normal market. So you're going to see that there's still some homes available, but limited selection. So if you're a buyer out there, you could still negotiate a great deal, but you're not going to have 5 or 6 homes to pick from. You might have 2 or 3.
Be logical. If you're a buyer out there, it makes sense. I mean, yeah, it's a tough move to move your kids out of school. They're already enrolled, unless you stay school district specific, which a lot of our customers tend to do. But I don't know, 1 + 1's always added to 2 to me, right, Matt? I mean, look, you got rates coming down. Sellers aren't even really aware of it. That's leading into kind of a refinance market, which we'll talk about in a second. And then you got, kind of the ugly weather situation. And then you got have-to sellers out there. They either had a death or a probate or inheritance they don't want anymore, or it's a 4D. Not all sellers are this way, by the way. There's still some that are kind of, still hanging on for dear life to find someone to buy their house that, were listing from August, right? So if it was me and I was buying a home, which you will see me buy a bunch of homes, I take my own medicine starting now to the end of the year. So for me, you got the stamp of approval. I think this is a good buyer's time to get in. What do you think?
I think it is. I mean, we've seen that in examples of some of our clients. Talk about even, our client Jose bought a house that we came in, 10 grand under the asking price. We did an appraisal. Appraisal came in 50 grand over their asking price.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's deals out there. Values are still, somewhat stable, but prices are dropping because sellers are getting a little nervous.
Yeah. So moving on, refinance. What are you hearing?
Well, I mean, what I saw was that refinance mortgage applications were up about 5%.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And, but home application, like new home applications, purchase applications were down a little bit. So, I mean, what are you seeing there?
Well, look, I'll spend a minute on this. I won't spend more than that because we're trying to keep these videos short. I'm just going to throw this out there. I'm going to ask Matt, our production engineer, one question. Matt, what do you think interest rates are today on a 30-year fixed for perfect credit?
5.85.
5.85. Is he right? Is he right? Meh, he's wrong. They're actually lower than that if you have perfect credit. I'm not going to go ahead and quote an interest rate because there's so many logistical pieces that have to go with it to be in compliance. But does Sonny think it's a great time to refinance right now? No, it's not. Okay. Yeah, you could get a good rate right now. If you need to refinance, sure. Here are 3 classic examples of people who need to refinance. If you have over $30,000 worth of debt, and you're at your debt to limit on your credit cards, and those rates are above 19 to 25 or 29%, whatever they charge these days, you are a candidate for probably a home equity line of credit if you have a really good first mortgage, so you don't break that first mortgage, keep that. But if you don't have a good first mortgage, let's say you already have a rate in the 6s, then this is a good time to capitalize on a cash out and consolidate your debt. Number 2, if there was ever a good time to get your house repaired, in my opinion, it's right now. We're in winter weather. We got new construction laborers sitting on the sidelines. We got contractors sitting on their hands doing. Don't let a contractor fool you and say, oh, you know what? I got a ton of work right now. Oh yeah, go look at how many permits are open right now at the building department. You'll find that, they could use the work right now. So you might be able to negotiate a really good deal. This might be a good time to fix things you need to fix. A roof, weather permitting. Your siding, your stucco, your interior kitchen, whatever you want to do. This would be a good time because you could borrow relatively inexpensive money in the grand scheme of things, that is. And the last person is somebody who is really just, in over their skis on their previous mortgage. There's a lot of you that bought a home 2 years ago, a year ago, have a 8.25%, 7.25%, 7.5% interest rate. There's no need for you to be in that anymore. If you're one of these 3, you call us, we'll take care of you. If you're a past client watching this and you have a great interest rate and you're like, well, Sonny, why didn't you call me? Is this the video to just stir up business? No, not at all. It's not that. I just believe that if you're going to do a refinance, it should be a no closing cost refinance. That means that there needs to be enough rebate attached to that rate to cover your title and escrow, cover your fees, cover a little bit of portion of your prepaid items if you have an impound account for your property taxes and insurance. So for me, David, there's no sunny stamp of approval to refinance right now. We're almost there, but we're not all the way there yet. But I'm more interested in knowing why the heck, new home builders are struggling. What's going on with that?
Well, if you haven't heard, come October 14th or October 14th, new tariffs came in for imported lumber, imported cabinets and whatnot. And you can see that you go to big box stores, a lot of those cabinets and stuff and all the materials are imported. So, yeah, tariffs,
gone up.
Yeah, tariffs have really hit that. So, what are new home builders doing? They're passing that on to the consumer. So,
of course
we're seeing the on average about $11,000 increase on the home sales. On the purchase price.
So we're seeing an increase now from the home builders.
Right.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Right. And for all of you that bought a brand new build that was like, oh, I got the 3% interest rate. They bought the rate down. Did they really buy the rate down from you? Yeah, they took money out of their profit and said, we're going to lose on this to give you a good rate and give you seller credit. No, they jacked up the price. They jacked up the price to give you the 30 grand or 20 grand you needed to buy the rate down. And in some cases, it made sense if you did a permanent rate down, buy down. In some cases, it didn't because, shoot, if you're doing that now on a new purchase and rates drop, the Fed's already told us 2 more rate decreases before the end of this year. If we see interest rates go down February, March, then what are you going to do? You've wasted essentially all this money that you could have asked them to lower the price on. There we go. All right. Last but not least, government shutdown. How's that impacting you?
It hasn't.
It hasn't.
It has not. I mean, I'm surprising too because you do have some of these HUD homes and stuff. But the good thing about it is that the government entity doesn't have day-to-day influence over these homes. So, I'm selling some HUD homes right now, and I haven't had any.
What
issues.
is a HUD home?
HUD home means that it's owned by the by HUD, which is the Housing and Urban Development government agency.
It's a foreclosure.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you deal in foreclosures.
Some foreclosures.
Can you share with them, kind of a proud moment here, can you share with them how KEES Homes is one of very select few that is approved to write on the offers for HUD homes?
Right. Yeah, it's a difficult process. You have to go through a extensive vetting process, and you have to provide a bunch of documentation, credit, background checks, all that stuff. So not every agent can or brokerage can write on HUD homes. So
you can say that again. Yeah. So you got to go through an extensive background check. Sonny did that. That's what we do.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We don't fail over here. We fill out paperwork. That's what we're used to. We've been doing it for 20 years. We got a great background. We got great credit history. And all these other guys can't write offers on them, but we can. We even actually got offered to start doing HUD listings. So stay tuned. That may be coming soon. So with that being said, I have not seen the government shutdown impact mortgages. I've not. We're still closing loans. So if you're seeing that, please don't let the media stir up any bad ideas and false information to share with you that, oh, it's tough to get a loan. If you want to get a loan, you can't get a loan anyways. Oh, I can't get an FHA loan. I can't get a VA loan. It's a government shutdown. No. That's how the government makes money. Right. They lend out money and they insure it, and banks make interest and the economy keeps going. So I think we covered everything. Is there anything you want to say in closing?
Listen to your local professionals, your lenders and your real estate agents, because they know what's happening in your market. Doesn't matter what's going on in the country, nationally. Yeah, you hear stuff in the news. Ask them because they know exactly how to navigate this market, and they're going to be able to guide you.
I couldn't have said it any better. This has been our October update. If you need any support on the real estate side, I highly encourage you to use David.
And likewise on the lending side.
Teeing it up for him. Anyways, if you need anything lending wise, we're here for you. Have a great Halloween.